Hello and welcome to Tricks of the Asteroid channel. Today is the 17th of March 2017, and today's video we have Adrien Brody. Since we're on Adrien Brody, I want to just to show you guys something for his web page before we go straight in. Now, I want you to take a notice. Right, this is Adrien Brody's wiki page, right? His official page. And I want you to notice his early life, okay? And I'll read it for you, so just follow my mouse. It says, Brody was born in Woodhaven, Queens, New York, the son of Sylvia Plackey, a photographer, and Elliot Brody, a retired history professor and painter, right? Brody's father is of Polish Jewish descent. Brody's mother, who was raised as a Catholic, right? Raised as a Catholic, was born in Budapest, Hungary. The daughter of a Catholic Hungarian aristocrat father and a Czech Jewish mother. All right. So I want you to notice something about Brody here. He says that he was his mother, right? Brody's mother. Notice that Brody's mother was raised as a Catholic. All right, so you can understand when we talk about that it's the Vatican that runs things, you get to understand the reasons why. All right, okay. Now I can't really remember a lot of the movies that Adrien Brody has featured in, but the one that comes to mind the most, I think it's called what's the name of that movie again? Let me try to find out what the name was. The name of the movie was called Splice, right? He's had a bit of he's been in a lot of movies, but by the time we're done with this video, you'll get to find out that Adrien Brody is a woman. All right. So before I get into the video, as I usually say and always say on all my videos and all our videos, we are not against transgenders. We're not. All right. Because at the end of the day, if you're a grown man or you're an adult that makes the decision to say, okay, I don't want to live in the gender that I was born with, and you want to go ahead and leave the fantasy of being in a gender that's different from your birth gender, I mean, that's on you. We can't judge you for that, right? The only person that does the judging is God Almighty. He's given everybody the right to live his or her life the way you want it. What we're against and what we're trying to expose to you is the machinery and the system that's put in place by the Vatican to take young kids. And before these kids can reach the age in which they can make a decision for themselves, these kids are taken, transgendered, mutilated or castrated, fed hormones, right? And forced to live in a sex and gender that's not theirs all their life. Now, so that leads me to the next question. So why is the Vatican so interested in children? All right? Because you have to understand that as an adult, you've already formed a set way of doing things, a set way of understanding things, a set way of beliefs. All right? And the Vatican knows that if an adult already has a set way of doing things, a set way of his own beliefs, he'll never lay down for the New World Order. So they have to indoctrinate children at an early age so they are easy to control. So by the time they reach adulthood, they're not any problem. They're not a problem to the Vatican because that's what they fear the most. That people, adults, will have a set way of doing things which will not be able to be because you're an adult and you have a set way of doing things, you're not easily manipulated. You can't be manipulated anymore. All right, so that's what's going on here. Now if it's your first time on our channel, I recommend that you watch the primer video. Please go look for that primer video on this channel and watch it. There is also a document that's attached to every video that we make. If you're already read through the documents, you don't need to go through it again. But if you haven't, it's just gonna take you 30 minutes. It might look like it has a lot of pages and it's voluminous, but at the end of the day, it will take you 30 minutes. It just has a lot of pictures. You can also keep that document handy anytime so that you can always pull it up, and go through it. I also recommend, like I usually say, if you haven't watched it before, if it's your first time on the channel, I recommend that you watch the Zayn Malik video at your own time. You can do it, don't be in a hurry. You can also watch the Marilyn Monroe video on this channel. And with that said, I just want to talk about some things, right, that maybe people don't really pay attention to. So I'll switch gears for a bit and then I'll come back to Adrien Brody so we can continue our investigation, right? Now, what I'm about to show you has to do with the United States Capitol building, all right? Here's a picture of the United States Capitol building, all right? And one thing that I want you to take note is that the Capitol building over here has a dome, all right? I'm gonna pull a picture in that's gonna be much more clearer so we can do a lot of stuff, okay? Here is a picture of the United States Capitol building, all right? And I want you to take note of the architecture and design. And one thing also I want you to note is that the Capitol building right here has an obelisk. If you can see that on my screen right here, right? You can see the obelisk right here, and you can see the Capitol building over there. Now, before I go further, let's just go. I want to bring you attention to something that you maybe never really noticed. Okay, so we go over to the Washington Monument because that's what the obelisk is called. If you're looking at my screen, right? And I want you to take the location of this monument. It says it's located almost due east, right? That means the Washington Monument is facing east. That means if you have your cardinal points of north, south, east, and west, the direction of that monument is due east, all right? So I want you to take note of that. Now, I want to pull up another picture of you, and I want you to notice something. We go to the Vatican, right? And we take a look at a building that's called St. Peter's Square, all right? And if I click on this, I'll show you a better picture. You will find that there is an obelisk also in the middle of the square. And I want you to take a look at the architecture too. It has a dome, all right? We're on the page of the United States Capitol building right here. If you're following my mouse, and you will see that it says it has a dome, right? Particularly with the addition of the massive dome. Can you see that? I'll just read it again so you can perfectly understand. It says the original building was completed in 1800 and was subsequently expanded, all right? Particularly with the addition of the massive dome, all right? Now you can pause this video at any time, so I'm not going too fast, and you can read what I'm saying so you can actually see what I'm trying to get at now. Now let's get back to the pictures of what I was trying to show you. So we've looked at the Washington Monument, right? We've looked at St. Peter's Basilica, and you can see there's an obelisk, the same obelisk that you have here in the Washington Monument. It's also in Basilica, in the St. Peter's Square at the Basilica, and you look at the architecture of the dome that they have in the Vatican. I'm going to pull those pictures up side by side so you can see what I'm trying to say. All right. Hold on a quick second. Let me pull that up so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the picture, right? You can see the architectural design of St. Peter's Cathedral. It has a dome. It's the same architectural design with what you have at the U.S. Capitol building right here. Can you see that? I'm gonna try to pull the pictures side by side so you can see the resemblance. Can you see there is a dome right here? And there is a dome right here. The only difference between these two domes is that this one has maybe 1, 2, 3 steps. Let me see if I can get an actual picture of the dome here in St. Peter's Basilica so you can probably see what I'm trying to talk about, okay? Give me a second. So here is a picture of the architectural design of that dome, all right? The only difference between the two of them is that this one probably has like maybe 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and this one maybe has 1, 2. But you can see the architecture is the design. If you can see, look at the top. Can you see that? I'm gonna try to blow this up as much as I can. Can you see the top right there? What it looks like, right? And if you look at, let me see if I can blow this up as well, as much as I can. You can see it's almost exactly the same thing. All right. Now let's push this out by the side and come back, all right, to the main pictures that I wanted you to show, all right? Now, here is here's St. Peter's Basilica. It has an obelisk, and it's facing a dome, all right? And here is the Washington Capitol building, right? There's an obelisk, right here, facing a dome. Can you see the resemblance? Let me see if I can pull that side by side so you can try to see what I'm talking about, right? I'm gonna try to pull this up so you can see that side by side. You have an obelisk facing a dome. And remember when I started at this video, I showed you that um the obelisk in Washington was facing due east. That's the direction. So where is east facing? Where is it actually facing? All right, it's facing the Vatican. See the similarity of the structures behind. All right. Now, with that said, I'll play you a short video. All right. And before I play the video, it's the video is gonna be about the inauguration of the 45th President of the United States, who happens to be Donald J. Trump. I'm using the most current president to show you. As I'm playing the video, I'll make pauses and explain stuff, all right? Now, here is the video, and here we go, okay?
Will administer the presidential oath of
So,
office.
as you can see,
everyone please stand.
Donald J. Trump is about to administer the oath of office. Now, if you go, let's say to if you get online on a search engine and say, where is the presidential oath of office administered, it will show you that it's in the west wing of the Capitol building. All right. Now, if you know about north, south, east, west, your cardinal directions, you will know that west, right, is in the opposite of the east, right? Does it make sense? Now, one other thing I wanted to show you, all right? Well, I won't talk about it. Let me just show you that first of all, because I like showing you facts, all right? So if we go and say inauguration of the Trump, right? It says here on the official Wikipedia page, it says the inauguration of Donald Trump as the 45th President of the United States marked a commencement of the 4-year term of Donald Trump as president and Mike Pence as vice president. An estimated 160,000 people attended the public ceremony held on Friday, January 20th, 2017 on the West Front. I want you to take note of that. On the West Front of the United States Capitol building in Washington, D.C. All right? I want you to take note of that statement. Let's go back to the video now. Okay? Now, Donald Trump. Now, I don't know if people are quite aware. Maybe you've probably heard of this terminology, all right? That when you trust someone, you call that person your right hand man, all right? You trust that person and you call him the right hand man. Now, there's another video I'm going to recommend because the Chief Justice, I don't quite remember his name, it's John G. Roberts, that's his name. The Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court swears in the president, right? Now, people don't actually notice that there's a conundrum there. So, what's the conundrum? If you swear in someone, it means you have authority over that person for you to swear him in. Now, in the video that if I'm just gonna recommend another video on this channel that you should take a look at. It's called Vatican Supreme Justices. I don't quite remember the name, but it will have something to do. Vatican Supreme Justices. Go look for it on this channel. You can find that. You can watch that also. All right. Now, let's get back to the video so you can understand what I'm saying. All right. Now, remember, we're in the west wing of the Capitol building. All right. Donald Trump is standing towards, he's facing east. Okay? I want you to take note of this video as we're going in, all right? I want you to take note of that.
Please now, raise your right hand.
John G. Roberts right here is standing on the right. Right meaning he's standing on the eastern port. Now, remember, the east, what you have in the east is the Vatican. Okay? And remember what I said. When you like someone and you trust someone, you make him your right hand man. So there's a reason why Justice J. Roberts right here, or G. Roberts, I'm not sure, but you know who I'm talking about, is standing on the right in the east. And Donald Trump, who is in the west, right, is facing east towards this man who's on the right hand man. All right. Now, if you're not aware, let me show you where and how the orientation of these things are. Now, here is the west wing of the United States. All right. So when people come in here, all right, they're going to sit on this lawn. So this is where Donald Trump was sworn in, right around here. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit more. All right. So Donald Trump is sworn in right around this portion right here. Okay. And everybody else is sitting below down here, right? All the way down here. Let's go back to the video. We can rewind it a little bit more so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Maybe you can get like a further shot behind it. All right. Right, we'll just pause it right there so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, you see where he's standing? Let's go to the picture. All right, and show you the west wing again. So he's standing right around here where you have this arched windows. Am I right? Okay, if you can see that, I don't, the picture's a little bit fuzzy and hazy. He's standing right around here. Okay, now, and this man, that means if he's standing here, right, the Washington Monument is towards the east, on the right, towards this way. Okay, that way. It's not very clear because I don't know. So the west wing is right here. So everybody's sitting down across like this, right, across this way. Okay. And here is the porch, right? The porch is around there that they're having that meeting, right? And he's facing that way. Okay? He's facing that way. facing east, the monument right here, okay? So, here's what's going on. He's gonna swear in. So there's a reason why he's facing east, okay? The reason why he's facing east is because he's swearing allegiance to the Pope. Remember, I show you the similarities between the US Capitol building and St. Peter's Basilica, where the Pope resides. They both have an obelisk, right, in front of a dome. Same with the Capitol building. You have an obelisk in front of a dome. So here's what's going on now.
Please raise your right hand.
So
and
he's
repeat.
raising his right hand facing east. Raising his right hand, an allegiance to the Pope. Now, remember, if you, I did recommend earlier that you watch the video called Vatican Supreme Justices on this channel. John G. Roberts is Catholic. He's a Roman Catholic. So Donald Trump here is swearing allegiance to the right-hand man because he's standing on the right. That means if you're facing north, remember, if this is west, west is this way, and east is this way, and north is in front, and south is behind, right? He is standing on the right. That means he's the right-hand man. He's trusted man of the Pope. So as he's swearing allegiance and facing east towards the obelisk, he's swearing allegiance to the Pope. Let's finish this off so we can go to the next.
After me.
Talk about some other stuff.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
So he swears in and makes an allegiance, all right, to the Pope. Okay? That's what's happening here. He's the right-hand man, the Roman Catholic, who stands in place of the Pope. And Donald Trump is facing east to where the Pope resides, swears an allegiance to the Pope. Does it make any sense to you? I hope it did. Now let's get back to the subject of Adrien Brody, all right? Now, with Adrian here, you can see that Adrian here, right, has an hourglass figure if you're following my mouse. See, he has the same hourglass figure that this female over here has. Can you see that? Look at that. Look at that curve. It's the same thing. All right? Now, if you don't know how a woman should look, let me just pull up one of our documents on page here so you can see. I mean, you can do this at your own, but you already know how a female looks. A female has an hourglass figure, all right? Because the pubic arch in a female right here is wider. It's 120 degrees wider or more. So because the pubic arch here is wider, it pushes the pelvis wider apart, okay? And forces the female's legs to be positioned wider apart. The reason for the wider pubic arch is so that a baby can come out of a woman's womb, all right? Show you another picture again. Hourglass figure, right? Because of the wider pubic arch, which allows for a baby to pass through the womb. All right? I can show you some many other different pictures so you can maybe better understand what I'm saying. I'll just show you another picture from our document. This is a document that I advise that you have it handy, right? You have it handy to your at all times, so that when you're looking at stuff, you can actually uh, know the visual differences between male and female. So this wide, see, this is the pubic arch of a female right here. So that means if you're looking at the pubic arch, this is looking at a pubic arch from when a woman is laying down on her back. You see? So this wider pubic arch allows a baby's head to be able to come out there. Because this pubic arch here is wider, it pulls the feet, the pelvis of a female wider, all right? And the legs are further apart. Does it make any sense? So let's go back to Miss Adrien Brody here. You can see, because of that wider pubic arch, he has the hourglass figure that females, sorry, have. So he's not a genetically born male. She was born female, transgendered, probably as a child, by the machinery that's put in place by the people who own and run the system, who's the Vatican. Okay, let's go further. Some other pictures. You can see that hourglass figure all over here again, right? Can you see that? And you can see that he has breasts. Those breasts are developing. That means as he's getting older, the hormones that's being fed to him, because when you're younger, your body can handle all that stuff, right? As you get older, it starts breaking down. It can't handle, the hormones that you're feeding it, because it's not natural, and it's steadily gonna be fighting and rejecting those hormones. You can still see the hourglass figure and the female indentation above the navel. All right, another picture. Look at Adrien Brody again. There's a female behind him who's supposedly supposed to be his girlfriend. Now, one of the things I did notice about Adrien Brody, that he used to date. I'll call her she right now. He used to date the former wife of Chris Hemsworth. We have a video on Chris Hemsworth, which I would advise that you take a look at also, so you would know who the wife is. Adrien Brody used to date that woman. So you can see the hourglass figure, right, that he has compared with the female also behind him. Can you see that? All right? Adrien Brody is not male. He was born female. And probably transgendered, okay? Not probably, transgendered to a male. Some more pictures. You can still see the hourglass figure. He has hips, right? And see the female indentation above the navel where a female's waist starts, okay? Some other pictures. Oh, sorry about this one. It just crept in there. All right. And you can see Adrien Brody has an arch in his back. Can you see that? Right? If you're not aware of what a female's back should look like. Now, females have to have an arch in their back so they can carry the extra weight of pregnancy and the baby, so that they don't tumble over. And also the pelvis is tilted forward. So because of that, the spine has to dip to accommodate that tilt, so that the baby can stay in the womb and not come out. You can see the female that Adrien Brody is with, he also has an arch in her back. And the same thing that Adrien Brody has over here. If you're not aware, let me just show you from our document so you can better see what I'm talking about. All right. And here we're back on the document, and we're going to scroll a little bit further down. And you can see with a female, there's a female over here, if you're following my mouse, has an arch in her back. So the female's back is going to be shaped like a C or an S, depending on how you draw it. A man's back is always going to be straight or shaped like a D. So a female's back arches inside, right? If a man's back wants to arch, it arches outside. D shape for a man, remember that. S or C shape for a female, okay? Scroll down a little bit further more so you can see female will always have an arch in the back. When she tries to stand or do anything or squat, that arch is always going to appear. All right, it doesn't matter if she has muscles or not. All right, there's always going to be an arch in a female's back. You can see that picture that I showed you right now. See that arch right here? Okay, I want you to hold that picture in mind. Right? So a female will always have an arch in her back, right? The arch just starts below the shoulder blades. It dips, it goes into the navel from the back, and then it goes in, then comes out into the pelvis. So a female's butt is always going to start higher up, okay, because of that. It doesn't matter if she has muscles. You always see that arch in that back, right? This is a muscular female. You can see that arch. Here's another female. You can still see that arch. So what I want you to keep in mind is this picture right here, because we'll come back to it. I'll show you later, all right? The arch in the back. And that's what Adrien Brody, right, has over here, all right? Let's go further. Some other pictures. You can still see that arch in her back. I call it a her because it is her, right? And this is the girlfriend trying. I don't know what she's doing down there, but you can still see that arch, right? See that? You're looking at a female. Another one, another picture. Look at Adrien Brody here. Can you see the breast now developing? Because the body, as he's getting older, is gonna be fighting the hormones. The body's always, because the body's gonna look at those hormones as it's some sort of disease. It's not supposed to be there. So the body's always constantly gonna be fighting to remain in the sex and gender that it was born with. As you can see here, Adrien Brody has breasts, breasts like a female because he is female. He was not born genetically male. I want you to take a good look at those breasts right there, right? Okay, another picture. Same picture, we've already gone through that. And you're looking at the hourglass figure here again that I've already shown. And look at that arch in the back again, all right? Look at that. Can you see that? Arch in the back. Look at that. Arch in the back. All right? Female. See that? Now, here's a picture. Now, this is why I tell you that, you can't trust people in Hollywood. Now, here is Adrien Brody kissing Halle Berry at the 2003 Oscars. And this is some homosexual action on your TV. And you're probably sitting down watching with your kids. I don't think kids should be exposed to homosexuality at a tender age. They should be able to make the decision when they're much more older, not being force-fed. Because a kid doesn't know what he or she wants when she's that young. When she's old enough to make the decision and say, okay, I think I'm attracted to people of the same sex, then that's their thing. But when they're young, they should have the ability to have choices, not to be indoctrinated by TV. That's why you can't trust people on TV. You can't trust what you see on TV. You can't make role models of people you see on TV. Because that's why, they say that everybody who's in the entertainment business, not just entertainment, higher up the hierarchy of world control and power are Freemasons, is because they keep secrets. Because Halle Berry, he is never ever going to tell you that she's been kissing on another female in Adrien Brody. And she knows. She knows. But she's never going to say it. She's going to come out smiling and talking all that beautiful stuff to you. And you're going to be saying, oh, okay, I love Halle Berry. I'd do anything for Halle Berry. But she is not working for you. She's not working in your best interests. She's been vetted. She's working for the people who own and control Hollywood, which is the Vatican. We'll go backwards to another picture so you can really see the arch in that back that I'm talking about, that Adrien Brody has, okay? I just want to make you go home with that picture, all right? And look at that picture again. Adrien Brody has an arch in his back comparable to the lady that we have in our document. See that? I'm going to pull this picture now up to the side so you can see what I'm talking about. No questions asked. Arch in the back. Same with the female or his girlfriend over here. Arch in the back. Arch in the back. Adrien Brody was born female. He's not a male. So when you're watching TV now, you know. And you know who the people who run it. So with that, I come to the end of the video. I would advise that you subscribe, that you stay tuned. You can leave your comments, leave your messages for us. We're here for you. We are only dedicated to showing you the truth, to making your eyes open, for leaving some truth for the next generation. Because all the generations have been force-fed lies all their lives. All we're here is trying to leave something for the next generation so they could understand your world, so they could at least make the right decisions based on all the information and correct information they have, so they didn't just lay down and roll over for the Vatican and the New World Order. So with that, as I always say, don't believe anything. Question everything. You're told something, question it. But look with your eyes and see with your brain. Thanks, and bye-bye.